Hospitals are places of healing, but they're also places of immense pain, sorrow, and sometimes something else. Something that lingers. For many who work the night shift, nurses, guards, doctors, things happen that simply can't be explained. These are their stories, true accounts of paranormal encounters from behind hospital walls. Michelle was a night nurse at a small rural hospital. 12 years on the job. She'd seen death. She'd seen miracles. She didn't believe in ghosts. Room 209 was empty that week. No patient, no visitors. But at exactly 3:12 a.m., the call button from 209 lit up. Michelle blinked, looked again. It was still glowing red. She walked down the hall. The door to 209 creaked open by itself. Inside, the bed was made, untouched, but someone was sitting on it. A man, pale, tired eyes, just staring at her. She froze. The figure didn't move, didn't blink, didn't speak. She took a breath, and the man vanished. Gone. Security footage confirmed. No one had entered. No one had exited. The call button had activated on its own. Michelle never worked that wing again. Children's wards are rarely quiet, but sometimes it's not the living who wander them. Dr. Hayes, a pediatrician, kept hearing laughter late at night. Soft, giggly, coming from the hallway. Multiple nurses said the same thing. They all described the little girl, long dark hair, pink dress, no shoes, roaming the corridor after midnight. One nurse swore the girl ran straight through a closed door. Another said her patient kept talking to a friend who wasn't there. Then a child, just 4 years old, drew her a crayon drawing, a girl with empty black eyes. The back read, "She plays with me when the lights go off." The girl never spoke to adults. She was only seen by children and the unlucky few on night duty. In the there's a storage room nobody likes. Staff call it the whisper room. Dr. Anton thought it was just a joke. Until he stayed late, he was filling out reports. Alone, until he heard it, a whisper. His name, again and again. It came from behind the closed storage door. He opened it. No one. Just shelves. Medical supplies. Dim lights. But the air felt wrong. Cold. Thick. He left. Locked the door. The next morning, 2 vials of morphine were sitting on the counter inside. Unlogged. Untouched. A nurse later whispered to him, "That room remembers the overdoses." Dan was a security guard. Night shifts were usually quiet, until one night, the motion detector lit up. West Wing. Problem was, the West Wing was shut down for renovation. He looked at the monitor. A woman, in a white hospital gown, was walking slowly through the corridor. Her feet barely touched the floor. Her head tilted slightly, as if listening. Then, she stopped, and looked directly into the camera. Dan's breath caught in his throat. He ran, took the elevator, went down the hall. The doors to the West Wing were still chained shut, padlocked. Inside, nothing. When he rewound the footage, there was nothing there. Just an empty hallway. Karen, a new ICU nurse, was finishing charting at 4 a.m. Suddenly, a code blue rang out, room 313. She and another nurse sprinted down the hall, crash cart in tow. But 313 was locked. Lights off, room empty, had been for weeks. Confused, they checked the monitors. Vital signs had appeared, a name had flashed, Edwin Marks. But there was no Edwin Marks admitted. Not anymore. The system showed no record of a code. No signs of tampering. Later, an older nurse told Karen, Edwin died in 313. 3 years ago. Heart failure. Around this time of night. Alex, a maintenance worker, was called to investigate odd sounds in the psych wing. It sounded like screaming, coming from the ceiling vents. Late, cold, quiet. He opened a panel above a now closed patient room. The screaming stopped. Dead silence. What he saw inside made him fall off the ladder. Scratches. Deep gouges on the inside of the ductwork. Fingernail marks. But this room had been sealed since a suicide months before. A patient who'd used the vent to end their life. The same room that staff say still screams when it rains. It was supposed to be a routine elevator ride. James, a radiology tech, entered from the ground floor and pressed 3. The elevator stopped on a floor with no number. Lights flickered, doors opened to a hallway James had never seen before. The air was stale, peeling paint, no staff, no patients, just hospital beds, all empty. He stepped out, but his badge buzzed violently. He stepped back in, pressed ground floor. The elevator descended, and the mystery floor never appeared again. Hospitals are places of transition. Between life and death, hope and loss, light and shadow. It makes sense that some things linger. Moments, memories, maybe even people. These were just a few stories, told by those who were there. Do you believe them? Or have you experienced something of your own? Share your story in the comments below. You might hear it in a future episode. Until next time, stay curious and stay in the light.